Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Elder Trolls Gaming Podcast. If you are new and joining us, we are three brothers who get together and talk about gaming. We also may talk tech, TV, movies, and other nerdy, geeky stuff too. And today we'll be hanging out, chill session, answering some questions, some community questions with our new quick quest queries.
First of all, what is your name?
Oh, I'm Nate. Nasty Nate.
And I'm Take It Easy, Jono.
And then today we'll be talking about whatever comes up. We're beginning hanging out since Daniel took off to Plattsburgh, USA. Pittsburgh, USA. Where's Plattsburgh?
USA.
Is Plattsburgh just a shitty Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I think so. Plattsburgh is in New York. It's a much shittier Pittsburgh.
Okay.
No offense to our listeners in Plattsburgh.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Did we drive through Plattsburgh on our way to New York City? It sounds familiar.
It's upstate New York. I don't know.
Right. Anyway, what's going on? I just got a long fucking day. Long day.
Not me. Been sitting here, did nothing. I gave our buddy Kenki the PS2 to HDMI adapter. He's going to play his PS2 apparently. I'll believe it when I see it. Didn't
he want like an NES emulator or something?
Yeah. Well, like he hasn't played games since fucking PS2 era. Like he still has his PS2. That's the last games they've played. I'm like, oh, well, I have these games if you want to try it. I had NHL 08 and
on PS1?
Gran Turismo 4 in the bag in the garage. I had 2 PS2 games. Well, I have a couple PS2 games. I have
a couple here.
I have fucking Guitar Hero 2 and 3, and I have no idea where the guitars are.
No, yeah. I tried to find them. I tried to look at mom and dad's. I thought they were in the attic somewhere, but I remember looking and
they're just gone.
Because we had them at Dalehurst when we lived together there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the last I remember of them.
Yeah. You remember them there? I only remember them at Ben's the last time, which was before that.
No, I remember them there because I remember them in the basement room where my computer was, because I used we had an Xbox One that went to the computer.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I don't know where that one. I don't know where it went.
Those are long gone. Yeah. They're in the dumpster somewhere, probably.
Damn. Oh, you can buy new ones
for PS2.
Oh, maybe not.
No, I don't think so.
I drove back home to visit mom. Saw Wirt. Saw baby Anna.
When did you see Wirt?
He came over to mom and dad's.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
we had a little hangout with the babies.
That's
what dads do. That's what dads do.
I wasn't going to sit in your car for an hour. My back hurts.
Yeah.
I got fucking tripped 5 times Friday night. 5 times.
That seems to be the story all the time. Someone tripped
5 times. And I fell on my hand 3 of those times. My sore hand that's been sprained.
I biked to work on that cold morning. And on the way home, those little gravels, the little rocks that they throw on sidewalks instead of salt sometimes? There's a bunch of like leftover gravel.
They should do that.
Yeah. Well, they do on the bridges that go over the Rideau Canal. Okay. There's lots of this.
Oh, wow. The Rideau Canal.
Right. So I'm riding up there on my bike and there's a ramp for bikes that goes around, very sharp corner. So I slow down. I thought I slowed down enough. And I turned that corner and my wheels, just slipped on the gravel and I fucking bailed. I smashed my knee. My knee is killing me. I look around. I was like, hopefully no one saw that. There was no one out. There was no one there. I was like, thank God.
You're like around the corner. There's a bunch of people just sitting there like enjoying the day.
Yeah.
And it's a bit early for biking.
No, man. Never too early to get off that bus. Man, I can't stand the bus. I don't care if it's 30 below zero. I'll bike. If the laneways are clean, I'll bike, but they weren't until.
No, there's going to be a lot of rocks from the plowing of the snow and the moving around of the snow. There's rocks everywhere.
Yeah, so I gotta
come by with the street sweepers.
Yep. So I gotta be careful on the corners because it's like ice. Those little pebbles.
Yeah.
Frig's sake.
Doors and corners, kid. Check your doors and corners.
Anyhow, that's it. So we start talking about some games.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's head into game time.
Does this look weird?
Yes. Yes, it does. It looks very weird. Who do you look like? Oh, Paul McCartney.
What?
You look like Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney?
His droopy eyes.
Right, well, right, yeah, man.
Mixed with Ringo Starr. Because your nose.
It
All right.
hurts my eyes.
Into game time. Let's go. What are we playing? You know what I'm playing? KCD2.
No.
But we also picked up, Alma and I have been playing Split Fiction quite a lot.
Oh, that game I told you about that nobody knew about except for me last episode?
Quite a lot. Like every time Ayla goes down, it's Split Fiction time. And we get like 2 hours of Split Fiction in.
What about your Henry time? That's cutting into your Henry time.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I don't know if that's acceptable.
I think I'm pretty close to the end of Henry. I think so. But Henry's fantastic as usual. But this Split Fiction, man, I didn't think this game was going to be this good. Like we heard about it at the game shows or whatever. It is absolutely fantastic. I enjoy it way more than It Takes Two. Way more. Alma and I dropped off It Takes Two. We didn't even finish it. People say the story was better in It Takes Two, but I don't really care for a divorced couple and their kid, to be honest. So like maybe that's why I didn't give a shit about their little family.
Yeah.
But like Split Fiction has it all. The co-op in this game is so top notch. It's fantastic. It's super fun. It's fast. Like the levels are fast. Like
The levels are nicer too.
levels are so good. It took a bit of each game that released in the last like 30 years or something. Put little pieces of each game into like each level. Because there was like Space Invaders, there was like the shoot 'em up, there was even a snake, snake level with the monkeys.
There's a wave race level.
A wave race level, yeah.
Like a jet ski level.
Man. And I'm like, oh shit, wave race. I'm like, oh. There's so many different ones.
Wave race 64, man.
Yeah.
That's a throwback.
Oh, it was so good. And the level with the laser guns, the pistols was sick. It was fucking sweet, man. Some Halo inspired stuff.
I kept shooting Pam. And she was like, what is that? Who's shooting me? Man, I don't think you can do damage, but
really good, really good. Every new level we go through, I'm like, that's sick. That's
Did you do the pig level?
Oh yeah, it's like at the beginning.
How was it?
I think we're almost done.
I don't remember.
Like the way you traverse and help your partner is nothing I've ever experienced before. They kind of did it like that in It Takes Two, but I think they just blew it out of the water with like the excitement and the fun in this game. It's really, really, really well done. If you have a partner that you want to play video games with, this is a no-brainer purchase, even though they could be terrible at video games. Okay, it's fun.
And they will be.
Yes. Yes.
Apparently, Pam's Instagram is just full of reels about like wives being bad at that game, and and the husbands having to wait for them.
Yeah,
I'm just like, oh, see,
that's what it is.
It's not just you.
Yeah, not just you. Alma too. Sometimes. Yeah. But man, it's fun. Like I just watch, and the HDR is so good on the PS5.
Yeah, on PC it's not.
Oh, it's so
amazing.
Nice. Because when they're in their Tron suits with the outlines, the color outlines.
Yeah.
And when they're running, they have like little outlines on their feet, like on their boots, little colored outlines, like neon lights. Oh man, it's really, really, really well done. Very cool.
No, I didn't notice that. So maybe the PC HDR isn't. I don't even know if it's on. I didn't even check. I think so.
It's really good on the PS5. Very, very cool. And then we had Gillis and Elaine over. We were playing some Heavenly Bodies, the astronaut game, 4-player astronaut game. It is hilarious.
Heavenly Bodies.
You have to you're an astronaut and you have to move their arms and legs with your joysticks and your shoulder buttons, and you have to move around the spaceship or the space station and fix things. Oh man, it's crazy. It is frustrating as hell.
You have to walk with fun. Different buttons.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you can grasp things. So you have to the way you traverse the station, you have to hang on to the bars and kind of move yourself around, and you float around. It's very, very fun. And we bought the DLC for it. And we almost beat the game last night, and then we're going to play the DLC. And it is fantastic. Gillis, it was so funny. We were so scared that Elaine, Gillis's fiance, that she was going to be so awful at this game. And Gillis is like, okay, well, we're going to have to do this and this just because Elaine, yada, yada, yada. But it turned out that Gillis was the one having the issues with the controls. He's like, why am I such fucking shit at this game? He's trying to control it. And then Elaine's just getting stuff done, fixing this, fixing that. And Gillis couldn't get the controls for the first 3 or 4 levels. Fuck, it was funny. We're like, how about you just get tethered here, Gillis, and let Elaine do the mission. So then he tethered himself to the outside of the ship, and then he like learned all the controls for like 15 minutes. So you're just floating into space. You can float out into space and you get a game over. And it's very hard to get back to the ship if you float out.
Jeez.
So you can tether yourself to the outside of the station, and he's like tethered there, and he's like learning how to move outside while we're doing the mission. Oh man, it's a very good game. Also very good. We had to buy it on we bought up PS5, and it came with the PS4 version. So we played the PS4 version because we had only 3 PS5 controllers and a PS4 controller. So it works with PS5 controllers on the PS4 version, and then you use the PS4 controller to get the 4 players.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, at least it came with 4, I guess, or with PS4 version.
Yeah. And it just asks which one do you want to play, right? You say PS4. That's it. That's it for me.
That's it?
Yeah. Well, I got back into VR. So I how about my VR issues I was having. So I was getting back into my VR drumming, and I'm like, my PC runs VR like shit.
Oh, because you're using the PS5 VR, the PSVR 2
headset. Yep.
Headset
PSVR 2
on
headset
PC.
On PC with the adapter.
With the adapter that is now official? Is the official adapter?
It's an official Sony adapter.
Official Sony adapter. So those of you who have a PSVR 2, head over to vrrock.com. Use coupon code. What's the coupon code?
I think it's just Elder Trolls. I think it's just Elder Trolls. Yeah.
And then you can plug it into your PC.
Yeah. And it was atrocious. The performance was so bad. Like skipping, freezing, crashing, blue screening my computer. I'm like, why don't I just go play this on PlayStation? Like, why am I even bothering playing this game on PC? I'm like, how can the PS5 run it and my PC can't? Right? And I'm such a PC VR noob. Like, I don't know any of these stupid Steam settings, right? So what happens is you go into the Steam room, like your Steam VR is like this virtual fucking hangout room, I guess you could say.
VR chat?
No. And then it gives you a list of your VR games that are installed, right? This
is
VR
with your
space,
headset on?
Yeah. And then you can customize your Steam room, like your Steam hangout room.
Cool.
Yeah. And then in that room, it's Steam VR is the app, right? This has its own display settings.
Okay, right.
Okay.
Because it's a display. It's a new display.
Right. And then you can change.
Output it to your computer too? Or just as a video?
As a video, yeah.
As a video.
Yeah.
It's not rendering anything, obviously.
Correct, yeah. So I would go into the Steam VR, and then I go into Ragnarok, and it's so slow. And like I'm trying to play these songs, and they just lag up and they freeze. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I put the resolution of Ragnarok down, I put the graphics all low, and it's still doing it. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? What is going on? And everyone's like, oh, it's because whenever you put a new headset on, Steam VR is 100% resolution. So you have to put that down to 68% for the PSVR 2 because it's like 68% of the default Steam VR resolution. I'm like, okay, what's the default Steam VR resolution? So it's like 4K or something.
Jeez.
Okay. I'm like, holy fuck. So I thought I fixed that. Okay. In the Steam VR app, there was another spot I had to put it. It's like global resolution. I don't know why there's so many resolution settings for Steam VR, but it was at 8K resolution. So it was running Steam VR in 8K and then running Ragnarok at, I think I had it down to like 1080p or something shitty. So I was like, oh my God. So then once I put the global Steam VR resolution down to 68%, it was like 2K each eye. And then that's it. It was like, boo.
Still 2K each eye. It's 2K screens.
Yeah. And then it finally started running properly. Fuck, it's driving me crazy. I was like, why isn't my PC able to run VR? What the hell's going on? But I'm going to get back into that. I tried to stream some in Discord, but I can't get the audio settings right. Like Siege was in there from 1H1D. Chris from 1H1D was in there, and he's like, I can't hear the game, but I can hear you talking. I was like, fuck. And then I tried to troubleshoot it, and I was like, fuck it. So I got to figure that out. But VR's coming back.
VR's coming back, folks.
All right.
It's making a comeback.
That's it for me.
Well, I have been alone for a whole week in the house.
With the dogs.
Yeah. With the dogs. Pam moved in with her sister for a couple weeks to help her out with, because she had surgery. So I'm just chilling and gaming. I'm gaming full time.
Damn.
Full time. When I get after work, just start gaming.
Nice.
And that's it.
Nice.
Feed the dogs. Walk the dogs at lunchtime so I don't have to do it after. And then I game.
Mm-hmm.
I put in a shift of gaming after my work shift.
Fuck yeah.
And I have beaten 2 games.
Wow.
One of them was very long too. That was like a full work week worth of playing. So I played Terminator Resistance.
Okay, yep.
Terminator Resistance, a 2019 game by Polish studio Teon.
I've always hovered on that one, and I was like,
They seem to have done a couple of 80s movie games. I guess they did like a Rambo and RoboCop, but nothing else
like
I've heard
the
of.
recent RoboCop one?
Yeah, I think it's from
Okay.
2023. But other than that, I haven't really heard anything. So this game is actually set in the future of the first 2 movies. Like, you remember, like, in the movies when it was showing clips from the future and like the things flying around and like the resistance fighting. Like, that's where it takes place.
So you're sending John back?
No, John doesn't go back in time. John Connor does
Reese.
not go back in time. Kyle Reese?
Kyle Reese goes
Kyle
back.
Reese is not in the game.
Yeah,
He's
but the
not.
timeline in which they sent him back.
Yeah, well, yeah. But we're in the future.
Yes.
Kind of like during that, I guess. During
Yeah.
that's all happened.
Okay.
So it's just like the fight against the machine. And it's like, it makes multiple references from the movie to the movies, which is sweet. Like, it mentions the T-1000. It mentions some of the things that happen about the guy going back. Like, they call him the Infiltrator, which is like the guy from the first movie.
Okay.
Arnold from the first movie.
Arnold from the first one? Okay.
He's called the Infiltrator in the future, and it's kind of about the Resistance finding out that they can now have Terminators who look like humans and all this. So it's like, oh no, they're infiltrating us.
Nice.
And it killed a bunch of people. The graphics were not anything super special, but I mainly played it because I am a Terminator fanboy, obviously, and I enjoy the world and the story. The music, it had all the music from like
Nice.
the movie. The game, pretty basic. It's kind of like a survival FPS. You go like looting, finding people, fighting against the machine. You can spec into kind of like stealth or crafting weapons, that kind of thing. There surprisingly was romancing in this game, if you want to call it that. I was able to hook up with 2 of the female characters.
Nice.
Not at the same time. Not at the same time, mind you.
Were they fembots?
No, they were humans.
Oh.
One of them was like our commander of our resistance.
Of course, yes.
But then she kicked me out after. Fuck, she didn't want anything to do with me. She just wanted a quickie. Just wanted a quick romp.
That's all you were to her. A piece of meat.
Yeah. And then the other one was like one of the side characters. Took me 8 hours to beat. So it's a pretty quick game. Nice and quick romp through Judgment Day, futuristic LA. It's pretty cool because it has the map has like the actual like regions around LA and stuff. Like you're in Pasadena. You're
okay.
These places.
Nice.
But yeah, I enjoyed it, I think, purely because of my fanboyism. And they just did a pretty good job with the setting and making you feel like it was the future they talked about in the movies, kind of thing, which was cool. So that's cool. Done with. It was cheap too. It was probably like $10.
Yeah, it's always pretty cheap.
The second game that I played,
And
Death
beat?
Stranding, and beat.
Wow, you beat Death Stranding in
I beat it
a week?
in a week.
Wow.
I told you I put in a full-time fucking
Holy
shift
shit.
playing Death Stranding, which came out the same year as Terminator Resistance. Okay.
But this is Kojima Studios.
But this is,
there.
Kojima Productions. This was his first game after splitting from Konami, I guess. So yeah, I finally played this. I just never got around to it before. I don't know. I wasn't a huge Metal Gear Solid guy, Kojima guy. I don't know. So, but I had some time now, and it was on sale 50% off or something for the director's cut. So I bought it. Took me 43 hours.
Oh, that's not bad.
43 hours, according to my end game report. And I delivered 55 side quest packages that weren't part of the main story. So I think that's a decent amount of like side stuff that maybe it would have been shorter anyway.
Yeah.
If I didn't do that stuff. So, but the first thing, as soon as I booted this fucking thing up, the game looks unbelievable. Like, I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. I was like, this is a 5-year-old game? Like, I just went from playing Terminator Resistance which is the same year, came out the same year to this fucking thing. And I was just like, oh my God, this looks so fucking good.
Really?
Like the environments look amazing. The character models, I was so impressed with just the way that it looked. And there's just like no question that the game is like a high quality game. It's just a quality production. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone would argue that. The team knew for sure what they were doing. It was just so nice. Did you watch a recap of this game?
Yeah,
the
yeah,
video.
yeah.
Oh, so you did. You didn't.
I'm playing that.
Do you have any questions? Did you have any questions about it?
I did when I was watching the video. I think I got the gist of it.
Man, but yeah, I went into it having no idea what it was about. Like I honestly had no fucking.
Because I watched when we watched the trailer and shit for the second one. I was like, oh man, that looks sick. I was like, do I want to play the first one though? I was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I was like, I'll just watch a recap. And I was watching the recap. I was like, this is fucking weird.
it was weird for
what the
sure.
hell?
At first, you're just like, what the fuck is going on? And like Leia Seydoux shows up and she's like eating these fucking weird worm things. I'm like, why are they floating? Like things are floating. She can like teleport. I'm like, what the fuck is
This is
going
the
on?
French lady from Bond.
Yeah. But yeah, it's all I knew was the everyone says obviously it's a walking simulator. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, whatever that means, but it's not. It is kind of, but it's more of a traversal simulator, I would say. It's about traversal. That's the name of the game. You don't have to walk. In the early game, you do, but as you level up, it's also kind of like a survival. Like you have to craft, you have to build things around the map that help you traverse the map and deliver packages, right? Because you can ride a bike, right? The bikes can get more places, kind of the trucks can, because the trucks are bigger. You can't, and there's rocks everywhere, right? So they don't make it easy for you to drive places.
Right.
Like there's no roads. There's a part of the game where you can do that if you want. You can restore the roads fully across the whole map if you want, but it takes a lot of like resources. You have to gather all the materials to do that. And I was like, that is a lot of materials. I'm not fucking doing that. So yeah, there's multiple ways you can go around the map, and that's what it's all about. It's just a traversal simulator, and there is a story, obviously, and the story is really cool. But I did zip lines. I was a big zip line guy. Now you can do ropes, ladders, bridges, ramps for whatever vehicles you're driving. All this
However,
stuff.
you need to get your package.
Yeah,
To
just got to deliver the fucking package. But the thing is, they add music too while you're kind of walking, so it makes it kind of cinematic, and the music is really somber. It's definitely like it's definitely like a vibe, you know what I mean? Kind of, but there's like singing. It's like a band. It's like a band music. It's like real band's music. It's definitely a vibe. It's really somber. It's pretty cool. But like the story, it's kind of confusing, but it does have to do with like basically the world of the living and the dead kind of are mixing together from some event that happened, I guess, in the past. And like there are these ghosts around called BTs. And when somebody dies, if you don't burn their body immediately, they'll cause like this massive explosion and they'll turn into one of these BTs. And these BTs, you can't see them, and they're around in various places. And if you're near them, they'll fucking go after you. And all you see is their footprints. Yeah, it's fucking creepy. And they'll drag you down, and they'll come out of the ground as these black tar freaks, and they'll just like surround you and like drag you down. So you have to like kind of stay away from them or sneak around them, or you can fight them later on with the weapons that you craft. But like the combat it's not very good. Like it's pretty clunky.
Assume that it would be.
No, it's very clunky and awkward, especially like switching weapons and shit. It's really awkward. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, like going back to the zip lines, like what I had a pretty sick network of zip lines around the whole map, so I could get around easily. But I had to put them there first, right? You can't just like craft a zip line somewhere else. You have to go there, create the like post for the zip line, and then along your route, you create your route, so that you can get back quickly.
Right,
You know
I'm
what I mean?
assuming packages you'll have to deliver packages back out there or close to other things that you've been to.
Yeah, so what I did for my side missions, I was just picking ones that were on my zipline route already. So I was like, oh, I can take that one. I can get there easy. So you just like, boom, boom, boom. I'm just on fucking ziplines, just chilling. I wouldn't even have to do anything. Just sit there chilling on the zipline, next zipline, and it would hop. But but there's a total limit that you can put on the map of structures, and the zip lines count towards that. So you kind of have to, in the early game, I didn't have enough bandwidth, so I had to be kind of strategic where I put them. You put them up in the fucking mountains and you go straight up, they come down. Like, it's really cool. And then there's like this rain that falls called timefall. So the rain in the game is called timefall, which if you touch it, anything it touches ages rapidly. So like if you stand out in the rain with no protection, you would turn into an old person and just die and like wither away. So like that's why everyone lives underground, and the only people who live up top are the people delivering shit, are the porters, and everyone lives in shelters. So you'll notice that your cars, your bikes, anything that you leave outside just gets super rusty and old, and you have to, it just will die eventually. It'll just run away, like it'll decay. Even your packages and your equipment that you have on you, you see it rust away, and you can get like a spray that restores containers of packages of cargo, but not your like gear. So your gear, if it's on you for too long, it'll just fucking decay and rot away. And let me tell you right now, for anyone who wants to play it, you better set up a good traversal network for yourself, okay? Like I did with my zip lines, because at the end of the game, it is expected that you have done that. I'll just say that much. Okay. And it makes you,
because you're going to be backtracking across the country.
Yeah, it makes you backtrack all the way to the fucking very beginning where you started. So you fucking better have a good traversal thing. So I had to fucking zip line across the whole country. Wow. Just going back. Yeah, it was crazy. But another thing I'll say, without giving up too much, the ending was way too long and drawn out. Holy fuck,
the cutscene, or just like
the cutscenes were good. The cutscenes were good. It's just the way they did the ending. It just was so drawn out. I was just like, dude, like it was so frustrating. I like when you thought it was over, then there's more. Then again, you think it's over. Then there's more. And there's a cutscene. And then there's some more gameplay and you think it's over. And then there's a cutscene and some more gameplay. And I'm like, what the fuck? Is this ending? Like, what the fuck am I doing?
It's like ReFantazio. I thought that game was going to end like 6 times. And I was like, I'm done with this shit.
No, it wasn't like that. I was never like, oh my God, I want this to end. But there's some, I can't give it away, but there's some gameplay parts that I was just like, all right, can we fucking go on already? Can we move this along?
Kojima in his head.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people call him a genius. I wouldn't call that genius. I'm sorry. But I don't know what the fuck he was thinking there. But like, dude, I get it. Come on, let's go. But the story was good. Good game. I just had that little bit of frustration with that.
What would you give it out of a 10?
I mean, it's got to be high, but that fucking ending really, I did not sit well with me. I was really frustrated. So maybe like an 8.5.
Oh,
8.5. Maybe high 8s. Let's say 8.8.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'll give it an 8.8.
Wow.
Yep. So that's it. So now I'm ready to play the second one.
Oh, is that out this year?
Yes, I think so. Can we look this up? I think we can look this up. Death Stranding 2 release date. June. Comes out in June.
Oh, really? Shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, that'll be a game to play. Cool, but that's pretty much it. We've been playing Split Fiction, but Pam's not here, so I'm not going to play it.
I said, cool. And my phone thought I said, hey, Google. Started lighting up. Nice. That's it for the games. I was going to say something. What was I going to say? After KCD2, I don't know what I'm going to play. So I think...
You should play Death Stranding.
Fuck no. I'm not playing that game. I think I'm going to go and rent Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Oh, on the Ubisoft thing?
On the Ubisoft app, like we did the Star Wars.
Right. Yeah.
Which brings us into gaming news.
Oh, you got some gaming news?
Assassin's Creed Shadows dropped to a pretty welcoming, like a good welcome. It was getting in the 80s. Low 80s, mid 80s.
I think it got that like 80 I saw on OpenCritic, or 81.
1 million players on launch. 1 million players on launch day. That's up to 2 million now, I believe.
I saw that.
And Ubisoft has an anti-harassment plan in place now that Assassin's Creed Shadows has launched.
What does that mean?
We're advised not to post on social media that we work at Ubisoft to avoid harassment. They said it's an initiative from Canada. There's a team that monitors networks and acts quickly in the event of a targeted attack. Unlike what we've had before, this is serious. Posts on Twitter.
What?
Posts on Twitter and Reddit, as well as videos on YouTube, are being closely monitored by a dedicated unit in order to respond quickly to the slightest problem. Lawyers are already ready to file complaints in the event of proven harassment against the game developers. Don't harass people. Just shut up.
I mean, do they expect that much of hate coming to this game?
Oh yeah.
They just expect it now. That's funny. They just
It's crazy.
automatically expect people to just
and then
shit
the
on
Japanese government had an issue with the way that all the destructible environments. So you could go to like a Japanese temple and smash it up and cut it up and stuff, and they didn't like that.
Yeah.
So they had to disable
the
that.
fabrics and stuff like that. It looks pretty cool. Like cutting barrels and cutting bamboos and shit like that with your
but
sword.
you could go and cut the sacred shrine in half or some shit. You know what? And they didn't like that. So they
do that.
patched it so you can't do that.
Can't be doing that, folks. Come on, have some respect.
Yeah, fucking respect it. Jeez. But I was watching some videos and them cutting wow,
The
very
physics look
cool. Yeah, very
the
cool.
physics apparently all those physics don't happen in the Series S version. You don't get that.
Not.
You don't get that. You don't get the ray trace global illumination, and you only get the 30 FPS. But on the PS5 and the Xbox X, you get options for those.
Yeah.
You get the physics, you get the cool physics, you get the ray trace global illuminations, and all the extra physics stuff. The hair, there's like an extra, like a cool hair engine, I guess.
And the wind is blowing her hair. That's really nice.
You don't get that in the Series X, so your hair is going to be Lego Man hair in the Series S. That's it. But I guess this is the first. This is their first game
on next gen console.
Gen only. Well, Series S, if you call that a next gen, I don't. So we're technically not away from next gen. But you think they're going to do that again? They're going to do it again. Xbox with their next fucking.
I don't
just make one console.
I don't think they're going to do that.
It'll be better for gamers everywhere.
I think they're going to do this handheld thing and then an Xbox. Because
the handheld thing,
the Series S, the Series S should have just been a handheld. Well, Windows handheld in the beginning.
Yeah, they should have.
Because why? So this new Windows handheld is just going to, or this Xbox
it's not
handheld.
An Xbox though.
It's an Xbox handheld. Yeah, it's an Xbox handheld, but it's made by Asus. It's pretty much an Asus ROG Ally.
Yeah, it's a PC handheld. It doesn't run Xbox games. It runs the Xbox app, the Game Pass app,
and runs PC games.
PC games,
unless they're Play Anywhere, and if you have the Ultimate, whatever, then it's going to be able to play those Xbox Play Anywhere games,
right?
On the handheld.
But it isn't an Xbox.
No,
it will have like a familiar, probably launcher, and it'll look like the Xbox.
Did you see that somebody saw in one of their marketing images that was quickly taken off social media that it said Steam games on the Xbox launcher thing?
Yeah, there'll be multiple launchers. You'll be able to play Steam games. They already said that though, I think.
But I'm thinking it's just going to be what you're going to see on that handheld is probably what they're going to kind of build for the new Xbox, where it's going to be more of a PC. So then they're just going to make games for PC, and you're going to be able to play them on this new Xbox, and that's it. That's it.
You think it's going to be?
I also think they're going to hand out the rights to all the hardware, the third party people like Asus, to make these Xboxes, these new Xboxes.
No, they would be too expensive. Asus would want way too much money. They would want to cut,
because then Xbox can have hands off of the hardware sales and all that shit, right? Because they bleed money on.
I got an Asus Xbox.
Yeah, shit like that.
The ROG Strix Xbox costs $2,000. Fucking no, that would be fucking dumb. But they could make it a PC, like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yep.
But it's like a PC that is, the hardware is known, and the games will work on it. You know what I mean? Not like now.
No. Yeah, so I think it's going to be more of a PC where you're going to be able to change your settings and get your games running.
Yeah, well, you could just say what console you have. It'll say like Xbox, whatever the name of the Xbox is, like fidelity mode, and Xbox, whatever the name of it is, performance mode. And aside from that, you could even customize it if you want.
Yeah.
But like using those are known good configurations.
Yes,
that
that's
are,
what you mean, like presets.
I mean? They're known good presets that they developed
and tested
that the game will run at 60 FPS, whatever.
Yep.
And it'll have all the ray tracing and whatever. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
But it could be like you could run Steam games on it. Too.
Yes, I'm hoping that's what they do. I'm hoping they open up more launchers, because then I'll just have a PC hooked up to my.
Nah, they couldn't, man. The cheaters. There would be so many.
Oh yeah,
cheaters,
that's true.
The hackers, the cheaters would fucking just cheat and hack the shit out
And
of
pirate the games.
Yeah, it would be tough.
Yep.
Yeah, they might have to keep like the
We'll see.
actual Xbox.
We'll see.
Fuck,
We'll see.
eh?
Another thing I wanted to talk about was the KCD 2 1.2 patch came out. Brought barbers and official modding tools.
Mhm.
But with this update came a performance hit, a pretty like
I noticed
hard,
it immediately.
yeah,
Immediately
pretty
noticed
hard performance hit. Like I was able to play experimental graphics at 60 FPS at 2K resolution.
Yeah.
Experimental
I was playing
graphics.
at 60 FPS at 4K.
Yeah.
Like, and
I was
it
like-
dropped down to like 50. I'm like, what the fuck's
Yeah,
going on here?
and I have to play at high, not even ultra. I have to play at high. I know, don't have me like a poor baby, but like
I switched the 3080 to high and I played it and it fixed it. It is much better.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, I went from experimental graphics, like their next gen, like future proof graphic settings, to their high to get 60 FPS. Like that's crazy. What the fuck happened?
Did they say anything about this? Did
Nope,
they
not yet.
acknowledge this?
Not yet. Not yet. And then I saw a patch 1.22 and I was like, oh, this must be the performance update. But it wasn't. It was just a couple of bugs that they fixed. Nothing to do with performance yet. And a lot of people said it was the shadows. They must have tweaked the shadows and the vegetation in a certain way that, like, if your shadows were on ultra or experimental, like it's like a 40 FPS hit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so I brought
Just
them down
one
to
setting.
low. I brought them down to low, medium, high, and it seamed to do the trick. So I kept
All
them.
right. Your fucking voice
Ugh.
is just cracking. Like
Yeah,
crazy.
I know. I don't know what's wrong. Well, I'm getting over this. I'm over the cold I had for 2 fucking weeks. This coughing has annihilated my throat, so it could be it. But yeah, now I'm playing at like high across the board and like a few at ultra, and like that's all I can do right now. Fucking sucks.
Custom.
But
Well,
it still looks amazing. I'm just kind of bummed. That's all.
it does. Looks
But
good.
you know what? I had
Looks
an
great.
idea.
Great looking game.
You know what? I had an idea with these modding tools. Someone, I don't know when, but they're going to come out with a KCD2 co-op mode with these modding tools, baby. Just wait.
How
Someone's
did they do
cooking it.
that?
Someone's cooking it up.
2 Henrys?
Yeah, no, you play as Hans Capon and Henry.
But he's gone for half the game.
Okay, 2 Henrys. What does matter?
2 Henrys. One plays Mutt.
Yeah, but that would be so. Imagine.
Or you
I
could
would-
play us like Janosch.
Yeah.
Janosch.
Yeah. Or Zizek.
Zizek.
But I would replay the game again in a co-op mode. That'd be so
fucking sweet.
epic. That'd be so sick. That's
Yeah,
the kind of
that'd be
things that are now available that people can make with these modding tools. Just think about that. But that's all I got for the news.
Cool.
All right. Let's head into our main topic. We're just going to go over a few questions that were sent to us. And we're just going to talk. We're going to talk about them.
That's
Okay.
not a topic. We're just flowing.
Okay. So let's head over to letter time, or what I like to call quick quest queries. What do you want to
We'll
name
work
it?
on that.
What do you want to name it? Letter time, like Nicholas Pickles from.
It's
fucking,
letter time. It's
It's letter time. It's letter time. It's letter time. What was it? N64.
We'll just steal that. They're gone.
What was it called? 64 arcade.
Video and arcade top 10.
Yeah. Video arcade top 10.
Yes.
They were always playing Blast Core 64. I remember that.
They
Always.
did play that. They did.
Always.
Always. I love that game. I used to play it all the
Yeah,
time.
we played that at Word's house all the time.
I think. Did I own it? I think I owned it.
Anyway, we got a little question from Ted E.
Teddy.
Ted E.
If this is the Teddy that I'm thinking of, we went to high school with this young man. I used to play. I played hockey with his brother not long ago either.
Yeah.
Hey Teddy. Salutations, Teddy.
Actually has a couple questions because he messaged us on Facebook, but I don't read Facebook.
Oh.
So I've got a question from a long time ago, but we'll talk about that after.
Okay.
But his big one that he actually used the NGL app to send us with my little links that we've been talking about. He asks, what resources would you recommend to a console gamer to help them learn about building and buying a gaming PC, and or to figure out if PC gaming is right for them?
Well,
Resources? we kind of were tinkering long time ago, right? Long time ago. But we used to buy custom PCs. Like we'd select the parts and we'd buy them from that MGD place. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
We would like select the parts that we wanted, and then they would build it for us and then ship it to us. That's how we did it to begin with.
It was like a sheet. It was like a paper you had.
Yeah.
And they had a bunch of different kind of pre-builds, and you kind of select what you wanted. But yeah, for right now, resources for a console gamer to help them learn about building buying PC. There's a website called PC Part Picker.
Yes.
Okay. You're Canadian. Go to ca.pcpartpicker.com. Here, let me show it.
Yeah.
I can share
Let's
my
go
screen.
through it quick here. This is honestly the tool I use when I want to quick build something to make sure that it's compatible. All the parts are compatible.
Can you see this? Is this good? All right. So what this does is you can start building a PC here, a builder. It'll take you to the builder. You choose your parts. Now this will list every part of a PC. So that helps you learn right there. So you have CPU
but if you
cooler.
If you look up, it says compatibility bar. You see the compatibility bar?
Yes, the compatibility bar is a big part here. So when you choose a CPU, let's say I want to build my computer here.
A 9800 X3D. Oh, yes.
9800 X3D. We're going to add it. You click on add. CPU cooler.
It also checks the prices from all the big websites in Canada, like Amazon, Canada Computer.
Yes. It scrapes multiple websites. So this is like the thing that I have. And it will only show you compatible parts. So once you choose your CPU, anything else you choose now, it will only list
stuff that will work with
the stuff that you've already selected. So you can you can sort by price. You can get a cheap board, whatever. I'll get a board here.
Nasty Nate special.
Yeah, cheapest board.
$49.
You want some RGB Corsair? Yeah, you do. Add that on there. Storage, you get your hard drives here. There's sorting filters on the side. You can filter by by size, by RPM if you're not getting an SSD, which is crazy, but you just want SSDs.
Don't bother.
But yeah, how do you know which ones are
go
good?
back to what we said last.
He's not gonna again.
episode.
This is one resource.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You might not even know what you're looking at here though. So use YouTube reviews on like good value GPUs, stuff like that. You'll start to learn the tiers and the prices and the price points. But in terms of building the parts, this is a good website.
It's a good build. It's a good like stepping stone and building tool where you can build or throw all these parts together, and then you can see a price, right?
Yeah. So look here, I have a note. It says, warning, these parts have a potential issues or compatibilities. Let's see the details. The Asus Prime supports, it might need a BIOS upgrade. Okay.
Perfect. Yeah. See, that is fantastic because not a lot of people know that. So when new CPUs hit the market, okay, the older motherboards, or the motherboards that come out maybe a few months before, might not be ready for them until the BIOS update comes out. So people are slapping in CPUs and it's not booting. Okay.
Yeah. So
you always got to watch.
That's a tough one to do because you can't update a BIOS without a CPU.
Correct. Yeah.
So where you buy the motherboard from, if you go in, they might do it for you. When you buy it, it is good to go into a shop Memory Express emailed me asking if they wanted.
Oh, that's beautiful.
If they wanted it updated. I was like, yeah, sure, if I can do it. And they didn't charge me. So they updated the BIOS when they sent it out to me.
I believe Canada Computers does charge you like $15 to update the BIOS. What they also do is they'll install your CPU for you. This is also good. Okay. Especially when you're starting out for building PCs. You buy the CPU and the motherboard from them. And they'll be like, oh, do you want us to install the CPU on the motherboard so when or if anything happens, we know that we installed the CPU and there's no bent pins or there's no bent or broken pieces, right? Because that's huge.
It's still covered too.
It's still covered under their like return policy if they install the CPU on the motherboard. Okay, that's massive. That was like the biggest issue when I started out building was I was always bending pins because of my heavy hand dropping the CPU, or I'm like holding the CPU above the socket and it slips out of my hand and the corner of the CPU smack a pin, right? Fuck.
Oh my god, man.
Yeah, I cost
Fucking
OTT a lot of
sausage
money.
fingers.
A lot of money in motherboards. Snake Factory, cringing.
Snake Factory. Chris would just be like, "Fuck."
Yeah, like Chris, I bent another pin. He's like, "God damn it!" Try to bend it back.
Case.
Try to bend it back.
Yeah, you can choose your case here. It also has reviews too. You can click on it. When you click on an item, it shows the different prices if they're in stock from whatever. These are my selected
shops. Yeah,
shops. So this is kind of custom.
Wow, Shop RBC. I haven't heard that in a long time.
Yeah, I'm like
they're still around.
So I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, and this is all like I have it set to include the tax in the price list here. So this is tax included. So if I want a deep cool, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Any compatibility?
No. Look at the price. So it might get overwhelming with the price of a PC, but remember,
yes,
okay, a PC can do many things that a console cannot do.
I am also selecting like the most expensive CPU with like $1,000 graphics card.
Also, depending on what monitor you have, if you have a 1080p monitor at home, okay, you don't want a 4K game. There are also CPUs that do the video for you, so you don't have to buy a GPU on that spot, at that spot. You know what I mean? You could get a GPU later. I'm saying, like, if you want to save a little bit of money, you can 1080p game for a little bit. It's not the end of the world. Okay.
That's true. It does game in 1080p, like those APUs.
Yeah.
The onboard graphics. It's like it's the same video or the same GPU that's in your Legion. It's in Legion Go. Those handhelds, so they do work at 1080p. You can get 30
and with all
FPS.
And this is where all this upscaling stuff shines, is for these CPU GPU combos there on the CPU, where you can upscale using all this technology and actually be able to game.
Yeah,
at a reasonable price. Let's
remove the GPU and the CPU here, and I'm gonna add a CPU, and I'm gonna choose like the 80. It's like a 8700G.
Is that the one Daniel has? Fuck me. Is that the one Daniel has?
Yeah. So this one has really good graphics built into it. Now, again, it says the same thing about the BIOS. It's going to say that of all newer CPUs. But again, that removes fucking $1,500
right
from the price. If you can, game at 1080p for a little bit, if you want to save up for a video card. CPU or power supply. There is a tier list, Google Power Supply tier list. Learn about that. Not all power supplies are created equal. I mean, this is a learning. You'll learn like the more like you read about it. And then in terms of putting it together, it's like it's easy. It's not bad. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. And I find putting the PC together really puts you in a relationship with your tech. Like you built this machine, it's like part of you, and you want it to run well, and you want it to run games well, and you want to keep it going. That's what I love about that whole relationship with building a PC, is that it's not just a box anymore. I put time and sweat into it, and it's there to serve my needs for gaming.
Right.
And that's what I love about it.
So yeah, I mean, other resources, I guess, would just be YouTube on how to do things, like how to.
Jay's 2 cents is good.
Yeah, Jay's 2 cents has a lot of stuff.
Older, what's his name? Linus. Older Linus stuff. He actually teaches you how to build a PC on his older videos. What is it? Linus Tech Tips, the older videos.
He used to work for NCIX. He used to make videos for NCIX.
Yeah.
That's
stuff
where
like
it started. That's
that.
crazy. But yeah, whether PC gaming is right for you, I mean,
if you're thinking about it, it is. You want to know why? Yeah.
Why?
Because you've hit that point where you hit the console ceiling and you're like, I want more.
You're breaking out of
you're being awoken by.
Is there more?
The PC.
Is there more than this?
Yes, exactly. The PC Master Race mothership has beaming you up. Okay.
If you want to play at faster frame rates, spend lots more money, and have technical issues all the time, it's for you.
That's the thing. Okay. With power, okay, comes fucking a lot of issues.
I mean, I don't ever have issues, but
it's because we've been doing it for 30, 20 years. We've been building PCs. But you know what?
True.
There are lots of communities on Reddit that will help you troubleshoot shit. You know, you can do it.
Yeah,
You can do it. I believe in you.
Another good Reddit resource is Build a PC Sales Canada. That's a good one. Someone's always posting like deals. So if you're looking for parts and you're looking for parts, let's say you built a list on PC Part Picker and you know kind of which parts you want, or in the general idea of what you need, you can monitor this subreddit and you can even sort by part and everything like that. And people will post like every day, like new deals. So you don't have to go find them yourself.
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh, this is on for this much money. This is on for 40% off this motherboard or whatever. CPU's in stock here, GPU's in stock there, blah, blah, blah. I think that's where I found the deal on my video card was $500 off.
And like, you don't even need to buy, like if you're a console gamer and you just want to have that extra oomph or that PC box, you can hook it up to your TV and play with a controller just like Jonathan does.
True.
What was I going to say? I lost what I was going to say.
Yeah, maybe you don't need a monitor.
Yeah,
so that's
exactly.
another thing. If you want to put it on your TV, you can do that too. It just takes up a little more space.
Get a wireless keyboard and mouse combo like the trackpad so you can get around Windows and launch your games. Or you can even set Steam to auto launch into big picture mode.
That's another thing. Windows, you will have to install your own Windows. We're telling you what to expect here, but yeah, you got to install Windows yourself. It's not too hard.
Not anymore. They make it so easy that
you just
they want you in, right? Yeah.
You just have to buy your key somewhere. You don't even really need to buy a key anymore. Like Windows will work now without activation. You just can't change your fucking desktop.
Yeah, some stupid things.
Like it'll work. So you can download the Windows tool, Windows USB creation tool right from Windows. Just Google Windows 11 USB creation tool and it'll fucking download it. It tells you to put it in. It'll do everything for you. And then you'll have to do this on another computer though. That's the thing. You have to do it on
a laptop or whatever.
Like you have to do it somewhere else. So it has to be a Windows laptop that you do that. Or I mean, like, because you don't want to buy.
Because you could buy the USB installation media as well.
Yeah, but it'll be more expensive. Then you actually have to like order it. I don't know how much money it costs, but that's stuff to consider. I mean, it's just a little more expensive, but it's
a whole new world.
A hobby.
Though.
It's a whole new thing. You know what I mean? Like upgrading and just using a PC is just so much easier for me. Like streaming. I don't know if I'll say that. Am I allowed to say this? Streaming hockey games and shit like that too. You can't fucking do that on like your Xbox Edge browser. Probably won't work. Yeah. But like the web, you can browse to fucking literally anything on the PC. So yeah. So. That's
where
I'd gist
start.
of it.
Yeah, that's where I'd start.
I don't know any other resources. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Let's just do a console gamer. So console gamers looking for more frames. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Also, now the graphics cards. That's when the big money comes in, right? Like a graphics card can be the price of a PS5. So it is an expensive hobby, but if you've got the money, you know.
The price of a PS5, that's a cheap graphics card.
Yeah, exactly. That's a cheap graphics card, right? But what did we say? We remember when we tried to build a PS5 PC, or we were talking about all that?
Yeah.
We were able to build a PS5 Pro PC for, what was it? Around the same price.
$1,200?
Yeah.
It was like $1,200 or something. Canadian.
And if you want to super cheap out, you can get it for around the same price as a PS5 Pro. That'll do PS5 Pro stuff and have other upscaling options like DLSS and all that kind of stuff. So there's ways.
All right. What was his other question?
It's a bit pricey.
Teddy's other question.
The other question he had a long time ago was, are you guys ever going to try or play Black Myth Wukong? And that we should do an episode about it because he's been playing it and the bosses are kicking his ass, he says.
Really? Is this a Souls-like game? I don't really play Souls games.
It's more like a boss rushing game. I don't think you're fighting that many enemies between bosses. So it's like, I'd say it's more boss fights than anything. I haven't played it, I don't know. But I would love to play it. I would love to play it, but it hasn't gone on sale since it's been released. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. I have not seen it on sale. It's been a long time too.
And to get all three of us playing one game is very difficult. Very difficult. We only did KCD2 because we were all waiting for that one. So
I'm sure Nate will play it and he'll
eventually, yeah. Eventually I will once it goes on sale.
Because it's supposed to be a good benchmark too for PC, like Cyberpunk kind of is with the ray tracing and everything too.
Yep.
So that would be a good one for you to try out.
Okay. What time? How much time we got?
Got like 20 minutes left here. We're at an hour.
I'm going for an hour. Okay. How about one more question?
Sure.
This one might. Okay, we'll do this one. This is from Shadow Fury 85 from Toronto, Canada. Okay. Hey, trolls. I'm torn between getting a PS5 or upgrading my gaming PC. I mostly play single-player RPGs like Elden Ring and Cyberpunk 2077, but I've heard so many good things about the PS5 exclusives. What would you guys recommend? Cheers.
Wait, so yeah, is he playing on PC right now?
Yeah.
What did it say?
So he's
playing
torn between
Cyberpunk.
getting a PS5, I guess for the PS5 exclusives, or upgrading his current gaming PC. So we don't know what his current gaming PC is, but he is playing Elden Ring and Cyberpunk 2077, so it's got to be pretty decent, I'm assuming. Since we don't have too much information, PS5 has not released an exclusive game that I care to play in the last, 3 years since God of War.
Yeah, God of War Ragnarok.
And all those games are coming to PC anyway. So I would say upgrade your PC. Don't get a PS5. That's what I would say. Because Sony is eventually releasing those games on PC. Might be a year later. Might be 2 years later. Whatever. You'll eventually get them.
True.
But you have such an enormous library of games to play on PC anyway.
And you can go back and play those the older Sony exclusives right now on PC. Like you can go play the first God of War,
like Leo's
and immediately play the second God of War, which is sick, which is what I did on PS5. And that was really fucking cool. But also Spider-Man is now
Spider-Man 1 and 2.
PS5 or on PC. You got
Ratchet and Clank's on there too now.
Ghost of Tsushima is on PC now. Director's Cut. So all this stuff is on PC now. You could go through that backlog, and once they eventually come out with their next whatever the fuck it is, whenever the hell they're doing that, you know what I mean? Exclusive.
The next Ghost
game.
Out. Next Ghost.
Yeah, the next Ghost game, which comes out this year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could play all of this other stuff, and by the time you're done the next Ghost game will be probably on PC, probably a year later, maybe. Maybe, I don't know how long it takes really for them to get it on.
They want to be day and day, I heard. They want to be able to release PC and PS5 games very close together. So
they should.
They should. That's where the money is. That's how you make money. Mm-hmm. Right? So, yeah, there's plenty of PS5 games already on PC that you can dive into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would definitely do that. Upgrade.
So, now, buying a PS5 or PS5 Pro, let's say. Okay, let's say you're buying a PS5 Pro. It's going to be $900 Canadian.
Ugh.
Okay? The only GPU you're going to get for that, if you're just upgrading a GPU, like what are you upgrading, right? You're going to probably spend more money upgrading your PC than buying the PS5 or PS5 Pro.
That is true, but then you have to have a good TV for your PS5 Pro.
Yeah.
If you want to utilize, 4K, HDR, the 120 hertz, whatever.
Yeah.
So, do you have that? Because that is another fucking $1,200 if you want a decent TV at a 55 inch.
A lot of people don't bring that into consideration, right? They don't. No. When you're buying a console, or especially like the higher end one, like the PS5 Pro, what are you gonna play it on a fucking turd? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna play it on a 10-year-old fucking shitty LCD.
Yeah. But that's what I say. I say upgrade the PC, leave the PS5 in the dust because it's a piece of shit right now. The original PS5. I wouldn't even bother. I don't even bother playing it right now. The only reason I play it is because I play co-op with my wife.
I haven't played it in a very long time. Since I started playing Ghost months and months ago. And then something else came out that on my PC that we were playing. I don't remember what. I'd like to go back and play it though, because the new one's fucking coming out. Maybe that's what I'll play next. I'll play Ghost probably.
Yes, do it.
Turn on the PS5.
Dust it off. Blow it out.
Maybe I'll start that tonight.
Yeah, thanks for the questions, guys. Thank you. More questions, people. Send them in.
Send
Okay.
them in the questions. We have the best answers. We will answer everything. we have the best knowledge. We know everything.
Okay, and you can do that by going to our social media links. What is it? Linktree. Reaching out. I'm usually on Blue Sky, and you can do the NGL like Teddy did.
What's the link tree?
Oh, the fuck. I don't know.
Flash it on screen. I don't know what it is.
It'll be in the description.
Wait, can I do that? I can put it on screen right now. Probably. No. Yes.
It is Linktree. How do they do it? So linktr.ee/eldertrollspodcast.
There you go.
Okay. So go there. The best way to do it would be the NGL. Send the NGL message like Teddy did, and it pops up right on my phone, and I put it in the old archive for the questions.
Just
All
like that.
I like
Cool.
these questions. If we can get like a handful of questions, we could have a really good episode here. Okay. So let's hear them. Bring them in. Your love life, your gaming life, your work life, whatever you want. Okay. Just ask away. Ask away. If you even want to ask us questions about us. Okay.
AMAs?
Yeah.
Doing AMAs?
Whatever you want. Whatever you want. Send some questions in. If they're not too grotesque or super personal, then we'll probably answer them. Okay. That's it. That's all. Anything else?
Yeah, no, I think that's good.
Cool. All right. Cool. Alrighty. That's it for this week's episode. Everybody, we want to thank everyone for taking the time to listen and or watch. Please be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and give us a rating and review on Spotify or Apple if you could. It helps us get out to more listeners who may enjoy the show. Also, we are now part of the Superpod Network, a network of podcasters you can find, browse, and check out over on superpodnetwork.com. Remember, you can always leave us a DM. Not on Facebook. I won't check that. Or Instagram. I won't check that. Or Twitter. I won't check that. So if you're going to send us a DM, okay, go to the Linktree like we said earlier. Use the NGL app or find us on Blue Sky. Okay, that's where I am now. You can leave your questions there. Thanks, everyone. We hope you have a wonderful day. Peace.
Yeah.